once again. I've actually watched this movie. It's really good. I fully suggest it. It, as people have said, it had to explain a war that can't be ended, has to go on for millions of years. Which means this friendship has to end in a way that's, well, you know.
Accidental murder is a pretty good way to go about it.
Well, it has to end in such a way that it cannot be repaired by the two just talking it out. And this is pretty much beyond repair. They would have to sit down for a full week with a therapist.
The funny thing is that apparently happened fairly regularly during Cyberverse.
Really?
Roughly 10 or so times over the course of the war, Megatron and Optimus sat down to try and discuss terms of peace.
Oh, of course. I just remember that one part Cheetor started giving questions, just like, yes, trying to give them, like, quiz each other, and they knew nothing about each other.
Megatron was outright offended over how little Prime knew. Yeah, no, Transformers 1. I don't think I've ever seen a movie become a cult classic that fast.
The trailers did it a huge disservice. Like, people say, well, what else were they going to put in the trailers? I'm like, anything but just the jokey moments. Like, I get it, some of them might have been spoilers, but you had to give us something besides that.
But, yeah, no, what was it?
I mean, hell, the voice actor actually went to Peter Cullen for this.
I would say that it achieved cult classic status before it left theaters.
I'm honestly glad, and I hope we continue to get ones like this.
I think Megatron's voice actor indicated he was working on a sequel already.
Woo! That's fun. Decepticons, rise up! Anyway.
Yep.
Watch out! This episode contains spoilers for Transformers 1.
What is with my recording software? Oh no, it's just my model being
rewritten
stupid.
And expanded following her appearance in the new movie, Transformers 1. This episode takes a fresh look at the bot closest to Optimus.
RC.
What'd you say?
Which makes sense. She was in one episode of G1 and RC got an entire season, so... And they do fill similar niches, just with the added romance on the part of Elita One.
Yes, but it's kind of nice to see Optimus Prime get a romance. Yeah.
Prime's heart. These are the
Looking after
updated
Prime's
basics
heart.
On Elita
And plus,
1.
we really don't get her a lot.
Elita One was an original character created by writer Beth
I'm gonna have to
Bornstein
go back
for
over
the
this
Transformers animated
recording
series
because it looks weird to me right now.
1985, who was the female counterpart and romantic interest of Optimus Prime.
I guess so.
A skilled warrior and charismatic leader who transformed into a Cybertronian car, she had the special power to freeze time.
Really?
A dangerous ability of last resort that drained her life force when used. Elita herself appeared only in the episode The Search for Alpha Trion, but a younger version of the character featured in the later episode War Dawn, which revealed her origins. Before the war, Elita had been named Ariel and had worked in an...
Ariel was not supposed to be Elita One, and the writer was reminded midway through the writing process that Elita One existed. She was just supposed to die here.
Oh. Sad part is, I just learned...
Also, Ariel's a separate character in Earth Wars. She and Elita One do not get along.
Oh. Really? Huh.
Yeah, Elita One is go-to on the battle. She's Lugnut's counterpart in the game.
Huh.
So which will tell you how much power she's throwing around. Ariel's a member of the Autobot Council, and Elita One thinks she's far too passive in how she's going about this.
With her boyfriend, Orion Pax. She and Orion were gunned down by Megatron during a Decepticon raid on the facility.
I just wish you got to see more on how their relationship functions. You know what I mean?
who rebuilt them into the first of a new generation of battle-ready Autobots who could fight back against the Decepticons.
I want to know how
Orion became Optimus Prime, and his schematics were used as a base for Tryon to reconstruct Ariel into Elita One.
I mean, it's not a bad design.
After millions of years of war, Optimus believed that Elita died in a Decepticon attack just before he and his Autobots left Cybertron for Earth. But in reality, she survived and went underground, forming a guerrilla cell of female Autobots to continue fighting the Decepticons in Optimus's absence. In the present day, a botched raid on the Decepticons' energy storehouse resulted in Elita's capture, and Optimus, learning his long-lost love was still alive, surrendered to the Decepticons in return for her release. Elita used her time-freezing power to rescue Optimus, leaving herself on the brink of death. But Optimus took her to Alpha Tryon, who guided the Autobot leader in performing a transfusion of his own energy that saved Elita's life.
That's kind of sweet.
Though the two were happy to be reunited, they knew that they had to part again, with Optimus returning to Earth, while Elita remained
I do like that they're both
fight
leaders
on
in the Autobot cause.
As a character created for the cartoon, no toys of Elita were available in the original 1980s toy line, and she spent the next 2 decades in near total obscurity, with her only representation in all that time being a small Japanese-exclusive model kit released in 1996.
Yep.
There were plans for her to feature in Dreamwave Productions comic books in the mid-2000s.
Pat Lee did a thing. I hate that man.
I don't want to know.
Well, I mean...
Is it anything nasty?
No. No, he just didn't pay anyone. He didn't pay anyone, transferred the company car to his name, fled to Canada, and blamed the American dollar for the collapse of the company.
I hate that sort of thing where everyone's really looking forward to something and then someone wastes all the money.
Yeah, no, Pat Lee's a piece of shit who wasn't even really drawing, despite referring to himself as a superstar artist.
Isn't that how it always works, though?
While enforcing his own kind of mediocre style on everyone there.
Damn.
In a story that would have depicted her as an agent of the evil aliens, the Quintessons. But just as she appeared in the comic at the end of 2004, Dreamwave went out of business, and the series was cancelled.
Damn.
It was the official Transformers convention, BotCon, that truly brought Elita back when she featured in the exclusive comic available at the show in 2007.
Very Elita One coded in design.
Really?
Outside of the boat thing.
I mean, the boat thing, other than the design, kind of fits for her, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great toy, because Thunderclash transforms by just kind of wrapping the entirety of her wings around herself to form the boat.
Alright.
This story was set within the world of the original Marvel Transformers comic series and introduced Elita into that world, depicting her as a martial artist of mysterious origin with light-bending armor. Elita's design in the comic was based on the Decepticon speedboat Thunderblast from 2005's Transformers Cybertron, and a few years later, that figure was recolored to create an Elita toy.
Professional Sim.
Oh, I kind of like it. It just has a giant rocket launcher here.
Oh yeah, the cyber key power is is for one singular large rocket to emerge from the center.
Available
as actually fireable.
On 2009. But that's jumping ahead a little. The first Elita toy was released in 2007 as part of the toy line for the first live-action movie.
I don't want to get into
this
the
incarnation of Elita was a recolor of the Autobot motorcycle RC from 2004's Transformers Energon, and was characterized as the movie universe's first female Transformer, a cunning sharpshooter who could generate an energy field that caused her opponents to overheat.
The toy also doesn't look good.
She didn't appear in the film itself, but did show up in tie-in comic books, which modified her appearance to make her look more like the original cartoon character.
There's been a lot for the movie toy line characters, because a lot of them were just repainted Cybertron and Energon era molds because they needed to make the line bigger.
Of course they were.
Also, one of the comics was just straight up, hey, what if Sam Witwicky fucking died and Megatron ruled the USA now?
What?
It's called Twilight's Last Gleaming. Since they didn't know, they needed to advertise the toys. They didn't know who they could kill off, so they just made alternate timeline.
Okay.
And and it makes sense because when they didn't, they killed off Wheelie in a post Revenge of the Fallen comic, and then they're like, "Oh fuck, we need to bring him back for Dark of the Moon." Oh, he got people killed in an elaborate betrayal. Fuck, what do we do now?
This is why everyone needs to be on the same page, or not at all.
The movie scriptwriters are not letting anyone near their pages.
Well, they were always bad anyway. I saw the third and fourth movie.
Oh, you poor bet. The third one's okay.
I can't suggest it.
Watch the first one. Pretend the fourth and fifth don't exist.
Don't watch this third one. There's too many problems for me to do. Like Optimus Prime.
Shockwave has a good design.
I disagree.
Hobo Megatron is a design I love.
It's a thing. Sentinel being a traitor, I will agree, was a good idea, but the way he gets executed by Optimus just doesn't feel right, or Optimus-y.
That's just what it's like in the movies, Woofy.
I know, and I don't like it.
Elita then made the jump to the big screen in the 2009 sequel, Revenge of the Fallen. Sort of. You see, this movie introduced 3 new female Autobot motorcycles, but it didn't really give any information about them as characters. Some sources said they were all components of RC, whose single mind controlled all 3 bodies. But others, including the movie toy line, identified them as 3 separate characters: the sisters, RC, Chromia, and Elita One. Comics would clear up the confusion and explain Elita's change in appearance, establishing that the 3 sisters had once been separate bots, but had been captured and experimented on by the Decepticon mad scientist Flatline.
Flatline is a good
fused
name.
them into a hive mind, individual bodies, sharing each other's thoughts and feelings. Drawing on the original cartoon, the comics depicted Elita as having once been close to Optimus Prime, but the pair had grown apart after the traumas of the war had hardened them both into more vengeful, violent bots, eventually leading to Elita's death at the hands of Shockwave. In between the movies, in 2008, Elita...
So something cut from Revenge of the Fallen, all 3 of them were supposed to combine.
Really?
Yeah, and like the Studio Series toys do. And the intention was, oh, the toys will still be able to do that. They can't. Because while there's still some remnants of it in the RC and Chromia toys, Elita One didn't get her own mold. She got a mold released like a year later that was just a repainted version of Chromia.
Also, can I say this design looks like her original look before she became Elita One?
Except yellow.
I didn't realize that. Huh.
I wondered whatever that could mean.
Right, the black and yellow?
Yes.
I don't get it.
Returned to TV screens in Transformers Animated, which put a new spin on the classic idea of her as the girl Optimus had left behind. In this series, Elita was a cadet in the Autobot Military Academy, who had the special ability to copy the powers of other Transformers. When an off-the-books mission with her fellow cadets Optimus and Sentinel to a planet of giant spiders went wrong, Elita attempted to use her power on the creatures, only to wind up mutating herself into a monstrous techno-organic form. Mistakenly believed dead by her friends, the abandoned and resentful Elita renamed herself Black Arachnia and joined up with the Decepticons. Her efforts to cure her mutation would lead to her crossing paths with Optimus years later on Earth.
I don't understand blaming
tragic
them.
history and feelings for one another complicating the Autobot leader's attempts to stop her harm.
Is she just trying to blame literally anyone at this point?
Oh, so she was just going crazy. Alright.
A little bit. She was very willing to kill everyone in a mile radius for a chance at getting rid of her organic half. Blatantly ignoring the part where it was killing her organic half, too.
Attempts to stop her harmful schemes. After a few quiet years, Elita One joined the world of IDW Publishing's comic books in 2015, which offered another significant reinvention of the character. In IDW's universe, Elita had no connection to Optimus Prime. Instead, she was the cold and militant leader of a nomadic band of Cybertronians who traveled the galaxy aboard the giant spaceship transformer, Carcer, serving as the jailers of the evil Prime, Liege Maximo, held prisoner within Carcer's body. After the end of the war, Cybertron re-established contact with the wandering Carcer, but Elita's uncompromising, unsympathetic insistence on putting her duty above the planet's more immediate needs often led to conflict, both political and physical, with Cybertron's representatives, Starscream and Windblade.
She straight up tried to have Starscream executed within a sentence.
Really?
Yeah, no, so Carcer is the Titan of Lies. Guys, everyone here is Liege Maximo's tribe, and thus they have given... They hold the truth in high esteem, specifically because they realize their progenitor is a sack of shit.
That makes sense. He looks like Loki.
Anyway, Starscream tried to hype himself up the slightest bit upon meeting her, and she immediately tried to have him executed for lying to her on her own goddamn ship.
Oh my god, that's just the way Starscream is.
Yeah?
He just always... he's his own best hype man.
I'm pretty sure most of her forces were actually Beast Machine Viacon characters.
Elita would give her life in defense of Cybertron. When it was attacked by the planet-eating monster, Unicron, she went out in a blaze of glory, piloting Carcer.
Die against the undead Titan army, because the alternative was, oh no, Liege Maximo will get out. Well, guess the planet's fucked. Can't let anyone activate my Titan.
She went out in a blaze of glory, piloting Carcer on a crash course straight into Unicron's face.
Right in their face. Almost his eye.
After a decade of intermittent appearances that had seen the character reimagined in some very different ways, things began to change for Elita One towards the end of the 2010s. Over the course of just a few short years, she underwent a dramatic increase in prominence that restored some consistency to both her design and characterization, and saw her rapidly go from only an occasional supporting character to the face of female representation in the franchise, overtaking characters like RC and Windblade to become the go-to female Autobot.
I will be honest, I prefer her over the other two. Windblade just doesn't have a good design to me, and RC has had a lot of time in the sun.
I think Windblade has an excellent design.
No.
I just think she works best in post-war settings.
I just think she works best with a different design. Anyway.
I think you work best with a different design.
Prominently appearing in most major new Transformers series of the 2020s thus far, as well as being featured in numerous pieces of ancillary media and merchandise, and getting more new toys than in the entire rest of her history put together.
Wow.
Elita One's first notable role in this new era came when IDW rebooted their comic books in 2019. In this new universe, Elita was initially depicted as a member of the Decepticons, back when they were just a political party advocating for social reform on pre-war Cybertron, until she was convinced by Bumblebee to help him investigate the party from the inside and uncover its true evil ambitions. This was followed by a starring role for Elita in 2020's War for Cybertron animated.
Part of the idea is that you can... Well, one, that's just straight up a retool of RC. That's just straight up RC's vehicle mode. But the intention was half her car kibble can detach to form a sort of very half-assed hoverboard kind of thing. But no, you can tell your entire robot mode is just shoved under the car.
Yeah.
Series. Set during the war on the Transformers' homeworld, this series showcased how the long conflict had strained Elita and Optimus's relationship, to the point that Elita had even begun doubting Prime's command decisions. As in the original series, Elita remained behind on Cybertron when Optimus and his troops left the planet, where her continued fight against the Decepticons would ultimately lead to her death. But her spirit would later appear to aid Optimus
everyone on the damn planet was
battle,
dead when they got back.
and to assure the guilt-ridden Prime that she didn't blame him for leaving her and would always love him.
Nice.
2022's Transformers
this is a pretty good
featured
one.
Elita in a supporting role as Optimus Prime's second-in-command.
I like the All-Pod.
In this series, she was a tough, athletic, highly skilled bot, always up for a fight, who had come to Earth with
I love
Optimus,
folded windows.
and was now his close ally in navigating the difficulties of building a peaceful life for the Transformers on the
Just
planet
beating up
after
Swindle.
the end of the war.
Yeah.
In 2024, Skybound's Transformers comic book showcased a more ruthless Elita One, embittered by centuries of war, who resented Optimus for leaving her on Cybertron. When the pair met in the present day, it wasn't a happy reunion, as Elita proved unconcerned about the safety of Earth and tried to force Optimus to return to Cybertron with her.
Oh.
Other notable toys of Elita released during
Yeah,
this
she's
time
not willing to
included a
enslave Earth and harvest them for resources, but she's not overly concerned about making use of the resources that have already been harvested by the cons. Like, I mean, we didn't pull the trigger, we didn't turn this on, well, maybe we should still make use of this kind of morality.
Not great.
Binary version of the character in 2018's Power of the Primes, and figures of both Elita and her younger self, Ariel, in the Legacy toy line between 2022 and 23. And most recently, Elita's enjoyed a leading role in the 2024 movie Transformers 1, in which she was voiced by Hollywood star Scarlett Johansson.
Really? I didn't realize that.
In this version of her story, Elita started out as one of Cybertron's lower class of underprivileged worker robots.
Okay, yeah, the video's kind of suffering a bit. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why my recording software is being like this. I really don't. It's pissing me off.
Who lacked the power to transform. A no-nonsense bot who always had an eye on her next promotion, Elita was captain of a mining squad that she ran like a drill sergeant, until a breach of protocol by miner Orion Pax led to her being demoted to waste management. Hoping to regain her lost standing, Elita begrudgingly agreed to join Orion on a search for the legendary, long-lost Matrix of Leadership, believing it would bring them favor in the eyes of Cybertron's ruler, Sentinel Prime. But their quest uncovered a dark secret instead, when they learned from the ancient warrior Alpha Trion that Sentinel was a false Prime who had usurped rule of the planet and had created the working class by forcibly extracting their transformation cogs. Outfitted with new cogs by Trion, the friends set out to tear down Sentinel's regime, with Elita using her combination of smarts and strength to help Orion rally an army of followers, and to defeat Sentinel's lieutenant, Arachnid, to acquire proof of the villain's crimes from her memory banks.
Considering Arachnid tended to beat the crap out of
And after the last few years of big changes, that's where Elita One's story has brought her. From a one-shot cartoon character 40 years ago to silver screen stardom as one of the biggest bots in Transformers media today.
Alright, press the wrong button. Shit. Anyway. What do you all think of Elita? Do you like her? Do you hate her? Do you wish to see more of her? Do you wish them to expand on the romance? Do you wish to expand on the romance a bit? Anyway, whatever you're feeling, tell us down in the comments, and I will listen. Or at least read the comment. Anyway, thank you all so much. If you like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.